Movember just ended. I think it's time to crack out the razor. That's pretty gross. A lot of hair just came off. Well, that's it. Just down to stubble. Before we leave for our next quick road trip, my wife just told me I look like a child once again. Thanks, wifey. All right, that's enough about No Shave November. We're on to December now, and also hitting the road again. Very quick drive down to a very historical town in Massachusetts. Some very famous Revolutionary battles took place here, so let's see if you can garner a guess before we arrive, and we'll see you in that town. All right, we have arrived. If you're any kind of history buff, you would have guessed we are in either Concord or Lexington. I'm gonna take you on a quick tour to show you some of the sights and sounds surrounding the Lexington Common right now. I'm standing out in the middle of very hallowed ground on Lexington Green, where the first 8 men of the Revolutionary War were killed. There are a ton of really cool and old houses out here right outside of Lexington Green. So we've got this one here, this old colonial, and you can see some history here on the sign. Just show you how close we are to the Lexington Green itself. There it is, right across the street. Another old colonial nearby. Let's go take a look as to why this house is famous. Well, it's not really a house anymore. It is now a Masonic meeting house. And here is why this building is important in American history. Hopefully you can read this, but the remains of those who fell in the Battle of Lexington were brought here from the old cemetery April 20th in 1835. So this is an old burial ground right in the middle of the common. I'll throw some money in here as well. Rest in peace. This is the famous Minuteman Statue right at the tip of the park. Another local monument. And another. Gotta love some of these events they hold. A Lexington tea burning coming up in just a few short days. You just saw this building in the background. It's the famous Buckman Tavern, circa 1709. So basically when the Redcoats, the British, came upon Lexington Common back on April 19th, 1775, many of the men came out of this area in this building to meet them, and that's where one of the first shots was fired, and 8 of the locals were killed. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the quick tour of the Lexington Common and all the interesting buildings surrounding it. If you ever want to do something really cool and historical, every Patriots Day at sunrise, they reenact the Battle of Lexington right here on this green. I'll give you a little quick spin. So I've done the reenactment once with my wife. Highly recommend that you get there very early, even before sunrise, to get a good seat. You can bring a lawn chair and set up, and the shots are extremely realistic. So while there's a somber reality here on the Lexington Green, we're actually in the town because we're off to a sports card shop. Yes, it's called Hit and Run Sports Cards at 8 Camellia Place. And it's just like a half mile from the Lexington Green, so we're gonna see you there. So I just realized the card shop is right outside of the famous Minuteman Trail that goes up to Concord. Starts in Boston pretty much. A lot of bikers on this. It's good for joggers too. All right, let's head into the card shop. Okay, so here's a look inside. Probably 75% or more is dedicated to both magic cards as well as some toys. There's one of the only baseball items I saw on the shelves. And here's an array of all the toys that they offered up. And then they also hold many Magic tournaments here. So they had, I think, 3 full cases of Magic cards. So if you're into that, this is definitely the place to be. I know nothing about these cards, so I just wanted to show people who are interested in them. And then here's some more toys that were over top of those cases. Got some pops. And then many of the items needed for your Magic cards there on the back shelf. And we're finally on to the sports cards. So you got a few Brady's here. We're on the bottom. His collection of sports cards in general wasn't the greatest. You can see some of these are a few years old or don't hold that much value.
The one that used to be next to the flower shop.
And very few vintage as well. But he told me straight up that he's sold off a lot of his vintage cards. There's a nice Trout in there. A few basketball cards. That Kobe was pretty pricey according to him. More basketball. And a handful of other vintage cards I was able to spot in the case. But that was the extent of it. There were no binders to go through. And very few, if any, cards that were graded. So here are some of the packs that were offered, ranging back to, I believe, as far back as 2005. A couple of 2007s, which we're going to see later on in this video. And that was one of the best products in the store right there, that 2000 Fleer Mystique unopened box that could potentially have a numbered Brady in it that would go for a few thousand. All right, we're all done inside. Unfortunately, I didn't get to interview the owner. He got a little busy at the end with some phone calls. But I did grab a little product to rip on camera, so we're going to head home and do that now. See you there. And we're back at the sorting table. So this is the haul that we got from Hit and Run Sports and Collectibles in Lexington, Massachusetts. So what we're going to do is rip open some of these packs and show off some of the 2 cards that I got here. He was pretty limited on the amount of modern cards that were decent enough for me to want to purchase. But can't go wrong with the 2016 Bowman Chrome Mike Trout. Looks like it could be a slab candidate. So stay tuned for that if I send this off to PSA or not. And the other loose card I got was this Brady Green Parallel. I think this is a 2017. So last year's score, couldn't pass up a parallel, not numbered, but just another to add to my growing few hundred Tom Brady cards. So while I can't really recommend the sports card shop for the baseball cards themselves, as I mentioned, as I was touring around, they have a huge selection of Magic cards, so if that's your thing, that's definitely where you want to be. But I was really happy with, the 5 to 7-year-old packs. I think even some of these are a little bit older. Yeah, we've got 2007 here, so we're going 11 years in terms of what he had available. He didn't really have much from 2018 other than some Top Series 2. We'll go down the line here for the 4 packs we're going to rip open on camera. We've got some 2008 Bowman here. We've got 2012 Top Series 1, 2012 Top Series 2, and a 2007 Series 2 Jumbo Pack. I think I'm most excited about the 2012s because we're looking for some Harpers in there. I can't really remember what's in the 2007 Series 2 in terms of rookie cards we'd be looking for. I know 2008 fairly well, but fortunately, hopefully, that will be a nice surprise for us. All right, so let's start with the 2008. Got an Eric Burns, Ryan Garco, Dimitri Young. Wow, is he looking heavy? Josh Banks, rookie. Ryan Morris, Scott Van Slyke. Is that Andy's son? I don't know. Jamie Richmond, Christopher Frey, Chrome, Javier Castillo, Aubrey Huff. I think is the only person I've heard of in this pack, and a checklist. So that was a strike. Moving on to Topps 2012 Series 1. Gosh, if I get something really good in here, I hope it's not a redemption at this point. Got a hand ram on the back. Got a D. Gordon. Skip Shoemaker. Brendan Ryan. Mickey Mantle. Let's take a look at this one. Don't know if it's numbered. No. Probably a pretty common insert. Classic walk-offs, Johnny Bench. Decent card there. Dylan Betanzas, rookie. Mike Pelfrey. Eli Whiteside. Emilio Bonifacio. And I saw the hand ram. Back when he was with the Marlins. Next up, Series 2 from 2012. Bull holes on the front. Brandon Phillips. Nick Markakis. Austin Jackson. Cool photo there. Eric Chavez. Johnny Lester. Liking this one. Not numbered. Gold Standard of Ernie Banks. Darwin Barney. Is he still playing? What happened to him? Jonathan Sanchez. Derek Lowe. Weird to see him in a Indians uniform. And Gavin Floyd. Fairly big disappointment so far, but we could redeem ourselves with a jumbo pack. 50 cards in this 2007 Topps Series 2. Let's get the ripping. Okay, I've only pulled up half of them so far. Got Ryan Howard. Jason Marquis. Another Mick. They love these inserts, don't they? Joe DiMaggio insert. Kip Wells. Angels team card without Trout. Eric Bedard. Jason Kendall. Kenny Rogers. Ronnie Paulino. Ted Lilly. Steve Traxel. Josh Phelps. John Patterson. David DeJesus. Otsuka. Adam Kennedy. Woody Williams. Craig Biggio. Roy Oswalt. Aaron Hill. Melky Cabrera, rookie card. Mike Mussina. And Vernon Wells. So we're halfway through the pack. Hitting the home stretch on these packs. Chris Stewart. John Lieber. Brian Bannister. John Casey and Placido Polanco. Brian Roberts. Fernando Rodney. Brian Barden. Kerry Wood. Rockies team card. Nationals team card. Opening day. Pittsburgh Pirates. Baltimore Orioles Chris Benson. Numbered to 56. If anybody's looking for this in their set, let me know. Jojima. Loaiza. Bob Guerin. David Eckstein. Kip Wells. Eric Bedard. Jason Kendall. Kenny Rogers. Paulino. Lilly. These are all repeating themselves. Traxel. Got a red show and dice card. Distinguished Service Member. DiMaggio. Insert. And Justin Morneau. Hardly anything to really show off there, but I still hope you enjoyed the journey to the card shop and some of the historical facts you may have learned that you didn't know before. I've got a few other card shops I've been looking up online and need to get in touch with them to make sure they're still open so we don't have a repeat of what I did in Central Mass. 2 of them are actually in New Hampshire, so they'd be an hour to an hour and a half away from me. As always, if you want to see some more card shop adventures, please hit that like and subscribe button to give my channel some support. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time back at the sorting table. Bye for now.